Caitlin Clark does not have to stay with the Indiana Fever.
What made this moment so fascinating was not what Caitlin Clark said loudly. It was what she refused to say at all. During her appearance on the Post Moves podcast alongside Aaliyah Boston and Candace Parker, the conversation sounded casual on the surface, but underneath it was a tension that every serious basketball fan could immediately feel. This was not just teammates joking around on a podcast. This sounded like a franchise superstar carefully measuring every single word before making a billion-dollar decision.
Fever. Caitlin Clark joined Aaliyah Boston and Candace Parker on their podcast, Post Moves. Great episode, by the way. And there was something that I noticed. Caitlin Clark was not committing to the Indiana Fever long term when her and Aaliyah Boston talked about Aaliyah Boston's contract.
The discussion started light, almost playful, but the deeper the conversation moved into contracts, team futures, and long-term stability, the atmosphere subtly changed. You could feel the weight behind the answers. In today's WNBA, especially after the explosion of Caitlin Clark's popularity, every public comment carries consequences. Every sentence becomes a headline. Every hesitation becomes a story. Then came the moment that completely shifted the energy of the interview. Aaliyah Boston proudly mentioned being committed to the Indiana Fever through 2029, smiling as she talked about building something special with Clark. It felt like the perfect setup for the standard franchise player response. Most stars in that position immediately reassure the fan base. They talk about loyalty. They talk about building a dynasty. They calm the noise, instead of delivering a polished corporate answer. She calmly reminded everyone that her own future is still wide open. And the way she said it mattered. There was no panic, no emotional overreaction, just quiet leverage. The kind of leverage that forces front offices to lose sleep at night. That single moment instantly became one of the biggest pieces of breaking news surrounding the WNBA this season, because it exposed something the Indiana Fever never wanted fans to think about. Caitlin Clark may not be permanently tied to this franchise.
Whatever.
She's on that till 2029. 2029.
Yeah,
Are
no,
you
that's
with
what
the
I'm
Fever till
saying.
2029?
Hey, I love playing with you.
Yeah, well, I'm only signed till...
Yeah. Well, don't worry about that.
Well, next year.
Don't worry.
She said, well, hey, look, I'm only signed till next year. I love playing with you too, but I'm only signed till next year. You're here till 2029. I'm not necessarily, respectfully. You know what I mean? Listen, I think Caitlin Clark should hold off on re-signing with the Indiana Fever. If she's going to re-sign, you hold off to...
And once fans started connecting that possibility to the current state of the organization, the reaction online exploded. Major WNBA commentators, sports podcasts, and viral basketball accounts immediately started asking the same uncomfortable question. Has Indiana already begun fumbling the biggest superstar opportunity in league history? Because the warning signs are impossible to ignore now. Attendance conversations have become louder. Fan frustration has become more aggressive. An emotional disconnect between the organization and Caitlin Clark's massive audience keeps growing every single week.
She's signing it. So at the end of the day, I think Caitlin Clark needs to continue to leave the door open on potentially not signing with the Indiana Fever. Now, shout out to Rhodes Rants. He posted this. And then he said, well, we're witnessing the biggest bag fumble of all time by the Indiana Fever. Wow. And I agree. Now, what this is the yearly league attendance by the team. Now, you already know, the Indiana Fever, they're doing absolutely anything to get people to come out to these games. They're doing all type of gimmicks that we hadn't seen them do. We hadn't had to see them go to within Caitlin Clark's.
What makes the situation so dangerous for the Indiana Fever is that Caitlin Clark is not just another talented player driving ticket sales. She became the economic engine of the entire league almost overnight. Television ratings skyrocketed because of her. Road arenas sold out because of her. Merchandise numbers exploded because of her. Entire franchises benefited financially from her presence alone. That is why fans get furious when they feel the organization is mishandling her brand. Whether fair or unfair, a growing portion of the audience believes the Fever front office has consistently failed to fully embrace the scale of Clark's impact on modern women's basketball. And once fans emotionally disconnect from management, rebuilding trust becomes incredibly difficult.
Every home and away game just off of the name Caitlin Clark alone. Do you guys have screwed the pooch, man? You blew it. You don't think that you guys putting Raven Johnson, who plays 5 minutes a game, averaging 1 point a game, on flyers instead of Caitlin Clark plays an effect on the attendance? You guys don't think the fact that you keep trying to put Kelsey Mitchell front and center on all the promotional kits and put Caitlin Clark off to the side, that has an effect?
The most alarming part for Indiana is that the attendance decline is no longer just internet discourse. Fans are starting to visibly change their spending behavior. The energy around the franchise does not feel untouchable anymore. Promotions, giveaways, discount packages, and marketing campaigns are suddenly being pushed much harder than they were during the peak of Caitlin Clark hype. And that shift matters because perception drives momentum in professional sports. Once fans sense instability, uncertainty spreads fast, especially in a league where star power is becoming more valuable than ever before. At this point, the pressure on the Indiana Fever organization is becoming overwhelming. Fans are no longer simply criticizing coaching decisions or rotation choices. They are questioning the entire direction of the franchise. And from Caitlin Clark's perspective, refusing to rush into a long-term commitment may be the smartest strategic move available to her. Right now, Clark holds the strongest negotiating position in the entire WNBA. Every franchise understands her value. Every owner understands her influence. And every executive in professional basketball understands that losing a player capable of transforming league economics would be an organizational disaster.
Yearly league attendance by the team. Now, you already know, the Indiana Fever, they're doing absolutely anything to get people to come out to these games. They're doing all type of gimmicks that we hadn't seen them do. We hadn't had to see them go to within Caitlin Clark's first 2 seasons. All of a sudden, they're giving away free tenderloin sandwiches. They're giving away free oil changes. They're doing house.
And this is where the conversation becomes truly fascinating. Imagine the possibility of Caitlin Clark entering a completely different basketball environment built specifically around her strengths. Expansion franchises would instantly become relevant overnight. Television partners would follow her. Sponsors would follow her. Entire cities would suddenly become major WNBA markets because of her presence alone. That is a kind of power very few athletes in sports history have ever possessed, which is exactly why this podcast moment sent shockwaves through the basketball world. It was not loud. It was not dramatic, but it sounded like a superstar quietly reminding an organization that the future of the franchise may ultimately depend on how they handle the next 12 months.
This is mind-boggling. And this organization, I think Caitlin Clark needs to seriously consider walking away from the Indiana Fever. Don't sign that epic deal. Pack your bags and go elsewhere. Walk away from them. I mean, if they don't get it together, you got to hold their feet to the fire. I would, coach, get out of my way. Y'all gonna start promoting me.
She has the